Morning to you, Indianapolis, all across central Indiana. We're glad you're up with us here on 13 Sunrise. It's 5 o'clock. It's Monday. Yes, we're going to ease into the work week with some nicer temperatures that are kind of sticking around from over the weekend.
Yeah, kind of grooving our way in this weekend. It seemed like spring had sprung.
Finally.
Everyone was out on Saturday, just kind of whether they were working in their yards or just going out for walks. It was so nice and so well deserved, especially on a Saturday, Linz.
So nice this weekend, and today we're going to continue that trend upward and take advantage of it because this is going to be a little temporary warm snap. We'll talk about some overnight lows headed back into the 30s, but we'll do that later. That's going to be as we get into the middle part of the week. We'll talk about a warming trend right now, and over the past 24 hours, the fact that Indy has jumped 13 degrees and check out Louisville up by 23. So we're noticing kind of the core of this warmer air mass that has shifted in. Well, that's because we had a warm front come through during the overnight, and we're right now sitting in the warm sector of this weather system. 59 the current temp in Indy. We've got 60s just to our south, 68 over in St. Louis. This will be an above average day, mainly due in part to where we sit within these frontal systems, and then eventually that warmer south wind component going to increase our temperature as well. So in the meantime, we are ranging from 55 in Kokomo right now, 62 in Muncie, it's 54 in Richmond, and now we're up to 59 again in Indy. So we've basically held steady near that 60-degree mark so far during the overnight. And now that we're tapping into that warmer southerly air, we will continuously see that temperature trend upward. We'll go 72 this afternoon for a high. Now, I did increase cloud cover in our forecast. Of course, whenever we get these oddly warm days, we're going to see things shift as a cold front arrives. So we'll enjoy these temperatures in the 70s today, but that boundary will potentially spark some scattered storms. Does look like the best chance of that happening will be in the far southeastern tier of the state, although I believe that more widespread severe risk will set up kind of outside of Indiana. Nonetheless, we're going to talk about the latest from the Storm Prediction Center and that latest timeline for storms later today coming up in the full forecast. It is 5:02 now, and as we start our Monday, want to get you updated here on some new perhaps closures that can impact your late evening, early morning drives. This is not going to be something that will be ongoing during the course of the day. NDOT announced over the weekend that they're going to be closing some on and off ramps at times and lanes northbound and southbound 465 from Pendleton Pike. So all of this is open right now. It is scheduled to close the northbound lanes tonight starting at 9 p.m. and then they're going to be doing some southbound lane work as well as the week progresses. So overnight closures over the next 3 days, 465 at Pendleton Pike in both directions on the east side. Now the northeast side, this is that big ongoing construction zone as well as work continues here. This is 69 at 82nd Street. No major issues to speak of right now. We'll continue though to monitor your delay tracker. Guys.
All right, Lindsay, thank you. And we do want to keep you updated on breaking news we're following this morning out of Johnson County. We are still seeing a large police presence in Greenwood. This is near I-65 and East Main Street.
So here's what our crews are seeing there. We talked about that large police presence. You can still see their lights are still flashing in their alert this morning. This started around 3, so a couple hours ago in the Homecoming subdivision, which is on the far east side of Greenwood. These police cars have been on this scene for a couple hours now. There's crime scene tape around a portion of this area of the neighborhood, it seems. So we're still working to learn more from Greenwood police about what happened in this home and if they have anyone in custody. This is in the back of the subdivision, so it shouldn't impact traffic or be an issue for those of you near I-65 and Main Street. Happening today, hundreds of teachers are preparing to rally at the Indiana State House over school funding.
So this morning we're learning this will impact several students learning across central Indiana, including here within the largest district, IPS. So Matthew Foltz joins us this morning with what parents and families will probably want to know and really more on that rally, especially if you're headed downtown today. Good morning.
Yeah, that's right. Good morning to you both. Certainly a big day at the State House. We know this rally is part of the day of action that's planned by the Indiana State Teachers Association. So it focuses on Senate Bill 1, which impacts property tax and could cut school funding. Now this morning we're expecting hundreds of students, teachers and staff to be there at that rally. Now last night IPS sent out a statement saying that students would be e-learning today because many teachers from several schools are expected to be here at that rally and not in the classroom. The school district says students will work independently on assignments and IPS will then add on an extra extra day at the end of the school year to meet the state's Department of Education's requirements. Meanwhile, we do know Pike Township, Monroe County Community Schools, they have also canceled in-person classes for today, so students will be e-learning as well. This morning, we're also learning that Union School Corporation has canceled classes today. The school district says that buses will be taking parents, students, and staff to that rally over at the State House. And again, Senate Bill 1 focuses on property tax changes, but would lower money for school districts by a lot. They say they would then have to share property tax revenue with charter schools. And under the bill, the Union School Corporation would dissolve by 2027. So a lot of impacts to many schools, Jalea and Julia. We do know that right now the bill heads back to the Senate for a vote before it eventually ends up on Governor Braun's desk. We do know that today's rally is planned for 10 a.m.
Yeah. Pretty big deal to have all these teachers deciding to attend this too.
Well, and I think the families and also the parents that are deciding to go to this rally with their students, knowing how big of an impact it could have on education. Thanks, Matthew. Well, happening today at the State House, the Hoosier Housing Needs Coalition will be speaking out against Senate Bill 197.
This is the bill that originally focused on unsafe building. And now an amendment would mean that unhoused people sleeping on public property could be charged with a crime. This language was originally in the House Bill 1662, but that died in committee. Many opponents draw issue that it doesn't provide housing or help with services and say that the bill criminalizes being homeless. The bill does require law enforcement to give a warning, though, and offer to take them to a shelter first. Well, over on WTHR Plus today, you can catch a new episode of Crossroads Politics. This breaks down all the big events this past week at the Indiana State House. You can watch for that at 9 this morning or watch it on demand when you have time. You can download the app on your TV and stream it for free. Happening today, IMPD is honoring an officer who died this month after a battle with cancer. There's a celebration of life for Officer Anderson Vilma at 8 this morning at Crown Hill Cemetery. And then at noon, a procession heading east to the district headquarters there for a final 1042 call will happen. Then that procession will head back to Crown Hill for that officer's burial. This will impact travel on several Indianapolis streets, so we do have the complete routes on WTHR.com.
5:07, an Indianapolis man is under arrest this morning after a shooting on the city's west side. Police tell us this happened just before 7:30 Saturday night along Eisenhower Drive. That's near West 34th Street and Moeller Road. At last check, police said the victim was in stable condition. According to police, a 28-year-old man was arrested at the scene on another warrant. If you have any information that could help this case, you're asked to call IMPD or Crime Stoppers at 262-TIPS.
A juvenile in Logansport is now under arrest over 2 separate incidents, both involving intimidation with a deadly weapon. Logansport police said that this started with reports of a juvenile with what was first believed to be a real gun, but they later learned it was an airsoft gun. A young person was taken into custody and is being held in home detention. We don't have other details because the suspect is a minor, so we're working to learn more to share later. A teacher in Frankfort is on administrative leave accused of having an inappropriate relationship with a student.
And happening today, his contract with the school is expected to end. The superintendent of Frankfort Schools tells us after a cyber awareness presentation on April 4th, a student came forward to tell a trusted teacher about the relationship involving her and a high school teacher. After reporting the allegations to police and CDS, the teacher was brought in for questioning and placed on leave. Frankfort police tell 13 News it is an active investigation. The superintendent also says he is recommending that teacher's contract be canceled at tonight's school board meeting.
Well, dozens of young men are now graduates of a program that is preparing them for a successful future. 100 Black Men of Indianapolis celebrated its 39th annual Botillion Military Scholarship Program yesterday.
Our Matthew Foltz was one of the MCs, in fact, so he had a busy weekend. The event highlights months of work put in by these young men, mentorship and life skills to use in the real world after high school is the focus. This also celebrates the importance of young people lifting up one another.
We look at the village concept. So we think that there are multiple paths to success, but one of those paths to success is making sure you surround yourselves with like-minded individuals.
Now, each senior received a grant for college, with the highest achiever receiving over $50,000 in scholarship money. You can learn more about that program at WTHR.com.
On the campus of IU Indy, some young Hoosiers got a new custom set of wheels.
This is all thanks to a special program that's called Go Baby Go. This is its 10th year, and it is bringing so much joy to kids that have unique issues and unique Power Wheels to go with that.
So IU Indy students studying physical therapy and engineering work together with families of children with motor and cognitive delays. They create customized cars so kids can enjoy these toys just like anyone else.
Yeah, it's been marked on our calendars. We've been so excited for today, for the opportunities this will give us in the rural community to have a powered Jeep. And the ability, brothers and sisters have go-karts and things, and Maggie has to watch. Not anymore. Maggie's in on the fun. Maggie's experiencing things every child should get to experience.
That is great. So if you would like to add your kid to this wish list or even help out with the program, we have all the information for you to do that at WTHR.com.